All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. I'm going to just make sure that I am live on YouTube before we get started. Let's see here. We are live. Let's see. Picture looks good. I think sound's okay. Let's see. It's just connecting. All right. There I am. Okay, well, let's get started. And welcome to Beyond Remission, a new era of permanent healing. I want to welcome you all into my new channel name, which I'm very excited for. Beyond Remission really aligns with the direction of this channel and where I go and what I share about. Just so you know, my programs, they take a person beyond remission and into the true and permanent healing of autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses. So excited for this new iteration. And before we get started, just want to share a little bit more about myself. For those that don't know me, I used to have 8 autoimmune diseases. I had conditions like MS, Hashimoto's, lupus, arthritis, and I also had chronic conditions such as ADD, depression, and anxiety. And I really struggled in my teens and 20s trying supplements, seeing all kinds of practitioners, doing cleanses, doing prescription medication. And for some reason, I just kept getting more illnesses. So I had to reach this point where I realized what I was doing wasn't working. And when I came to where I work now, about 10 years ago, a new life center, I learned that the real problem and the reason I wasn't healing was actually me and my emotional state. Once I resolved that, I permanently healed. And for the past 9 years, I've been working with people, taking them down this same journey. And so today, I'm really excited about this title. The title of today's video is The Choice: Why New Year's Resolutions Never Work. Why New Year's resolutions never work. And I'm going to talk about the choice today. And before we get started, I want you to know that this choice, the choice that I'll be sharing about at the end of this video, this is truly the secret of how to be successful in life and our health and how to live a life that we are happy and proud of. And so this video was inspired by last week, New Year's. And I was someone every New Year's that would literally wake up New Year's Day and feel really bad about myself. Looking back at that last year, not being where I wanted to be, being stuck with all my health conditions, and having this whole list of things that I knew I should be doing in my life that I wasn't doing. And like many, I would try to make a New Year's resolution that I would never keep. I would never keep it. And then letting myself down with that New Year's resolution would make me feel even that worse about myself. So here's what I've realized, and I actually looked this up. There is a day this month of every January they call Quitter's Day. So I know I'm not alone when I would always give up on my New Year's resolutions. There's a health company, they took health data from I think over 800,000 people, and guess what they found? They found that 80% of people give up their New Year's resolutions on the second Friday of January. So that's going to be coming up. That's going to be January 10th. 80% of us already, we give up on those New Year's resolutions, give up on that one thing that we know we need to do that would make a positive impact on our life. And to me, the real question for us as humans is why? Why do we do this? Why do we give up so easily on ourselves? Why do we feel so bad about ourselves that we can't even keep one small thing, right? Or one thing like maybe working out or eating healthier. Why can't we even make it a healthy habit? Why do most of us give up within 2 weeks? What's going on? And so the reason we feel so bad about ourselves, I kind of want to break it down here. Feeling bad about ourselves creates a very unhealthy emotional state over time. And it's that unhealthy emotional state that is the driving force of our health. And if we have an unhealthy emotional state, we are going to be unhealthy. And so what I'm going to do again in today's video is really make it simple. How I feel about myself, which is a window into how bad we feel, is those New Year's resolutions we never keep. How I feel about myself? How does that drive my emotional state? And then how does that determine my health? I'm going to go into why we feel so bad about ourselves. And then at the end, you have to stay because, again, I'll be sharing the choice. This is a profound awareness. This is a profound concept that will change your life. It has changed mine. And it leads to the healing of those of us with autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses. And so, again, let's first go, why do we feel so bad about ourselves? What's the connection between that and our health? Well, it all starts, again, how we feel about ourselves, good or bad. That's what creates our emotional state. And our emotional state lives under the skin. It lives inside of us. And it's our emotional state that's the driving force of our health. So it is that direct connection between how I feel creates my emotional state. My emotional state creates my health. So it's really that simple. So let's break it down into, again, how we feel in the new year, giving up those New Year's resolutions so quickly, feeling bad about myself. When I live my life feeling bad about myself, what that creates is an unhealthy emotional state. So I'm living life with an unhealthy emotional state under the skin. And what that creates is a body that's unhealthy. It creates a body that can develop autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses, right? And so kind of reversing that, if I feel good about myself, that creates a healthy emotional state. And from that healthy emotional state, I am healthy. I am a body that is free of autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses. And this was something that I don't think I quite wanted to know for a while when I had my illnesses, but if you have an autoimmune disease or a chronic illness, then you can know definitively you are living life as not feeling good about yourself because it creates, again, an unhealthy emotional state. That's what creates that unhealthy emotional state is the driving force of creating our autoimmune and chronic illness. And I talk more about this in my 101 course. The link will be down in the description below. But what I want us to really break down is if I'm not feeling good about myself, I'm unhappy. And if I'm unhappy, I'm unhealthy, right? And the opposite of that is if I'm living my life feeling good about myself, I'm happy in my life and I'm healthy. So it really starts, if we really kind of reverse engineer it, all goes back, our health all goes back to how we feel about ourselves. And again, that feeling bad about ourselves, we can see that in this new year. But here's the real question that we have to ask ourselves. Why? Why do we feel so bad about ourselves? That was the question I was asking myself when I was sick. Like, what was it about me that I could never stick with the things I knew I needed to do? Why would I fall back in those same old patterns of unsupportive thoughts, of unsupported behaviors year after year, and have year after year that I felt disappointed in myself and had worsening health conditions? Why did I feel so bad about myself, and why couldn't I change that? So the real reason, and this is really important, so make sure that you're listening. The real reason that we feel so bad about ourselves is a concept that I call who we are in the dark. Who we are in the dark. And what I mean by that is who we are when it's just us. What are the choices that we make and the thoughts that we have when no one else is there? Who we are in the dark. Now, if you're like me, when I had my illnesses, who I was in the dark was a completely different person than who I was around others or who I was when I knew someone else was watching me. But the true test of how I really feel and how I operate, again, is who we are in the dark. And the thing is, we've never been taught as humans that it's those choices, those seemingly small choices that we make when it's just us, when no one else is around. We've never been taught that those matter. And not only do they matter, they really matter the most, right? So the real question is, and what that looks like, kind of giving you an example, who I am in the dark. So who I am when no one else is there, no one else is watching, right? And I'm not picking up after myself, or I'm binging on Netflix, or I'm skipping meals, or maybe I'm not taking care of my hygiene, or maybe I have stacks of paperwork in my house that I shove away if I think someone's going to be there. It is, not eating healthy. It is doing the things that actually degrade myself. These little choices that we make in the dark, again, we just sweep them under the rug. We think they don't matter. What actually it looks like, I imagine it like we are a statue. And all of those unsupportive choices we make in the dark is just a chisel chipping away at the core of who we are, and again, making us feel really bad about ourselves. And it's also the thoughts that we have, right? Can you imagine if you were by yourself and there was a screen up and it was putting out all of the thoughts that you were having in your head that you don't tell anyone when you're in the dark by yourself, right? And the behaviors that you have. Well, this is the secret here. This is why we feel so bad about ourselves. It is the unsupportive behaviors that we do that we think don't matter. And it's the unsupportive thoughts. It's the beating ourselves up. It's the criticizing ourselves. It's the telling ourselves that we're not even worth making supportive choices or taking care of. This is why we feel so bad about ourselves. This concept really blew my mind when I first got it, because truly I had lived my whole life with habitual patterns of unsupportive behaviors and unsupportive thoughts that I thought didn't matter because I did them in the dark. It was just me. But it's how we interact with ourselves, again, when no one's watching. That is actually what determines how we feel about ourselves. And for those of us that struggle to make a New Year's resolution and we know we feel bad about ourselves, this, who we are in the dark, is actually where this is coming from. And so I know for me, it's like, okay, that's kind of a big concept of like, wow, who I am in the dark. I was a mess in the dark. I was doing everything that I shouldn't be doing. So how do I change this? How do we start? How do I go from feeling so bad about myself that I can't even do like a simple New Year's resolution, maybe just to eat a little healthier or maybe go on walks? How do I switch this and learn how to feel good about myself so that not only do I keep my New Year's resolutions, but I live a life. I live a year. I live a life of feeling good and have a life that reflects this. And two, how do I make this so that I'm kind of the same person? It doesn't feel good to be a different person when we're by ourselves than who we present in public. We don't want to be imposters, right? We want to be the same good person all the time who feels good about ourselves. So what's the solution to this? Well, here's the first part, is that we have never been taught, and this is really important, we've never been taught that feeling good about ourselves and thus having a healthy emotional state and thus being physically healthy, we've never been taught that that's a choice. We've never been taught that that is a choice, and we've never been taught it's a choice that we are actually in control of. That's right. How you feel about yourself, good or bad, is a choice that you are in control of. It's not happening to you. It's not fated that you don't feel good about yourself. It's not because of your upbringing, I promise. It's actually a choice. So let me explain what the choice is. And this is really important. It's not a choice. I'm going to be talking to you about the choice. This is the choice that making this choice, you set your life on a whole new trajectory. Your life, how you feel about yourself, and your health. And so the choice is the secret to having a fulfilling life, to feeling good about who you are, like I said, and being healthy. And it all boils down, interestingly, to one single choice. The choice is actually one single choice. So let me explain. We've never realized, it's been unconscious, I'll say, that we've created a life of feeling bad about ourselves, all coming from one choice, the choice, which is the first choice we make every morning that we wake up. I'll say that again, that the reason we feel bad, we've been unconscious to this, is that it comes down to the first choice that we make when we wake up. So let me run you through what this looks like. It's called a day of unhealthy choices. And the choice you make, that first choice, is, do I get up with my alarm or do I press snooze? That's right. I can feel you cringing out there. Who I am in the dark. Do I get up with my alarm or do I press snooze? So let's go down the unhealthy choice, feeling bad about ourselves route. We press snooze. The choice to press snooze is the choice, the unhealthy choice that creates a cascade effect throughout our day that causes us to feel bad about ourselves. So let's run through a scenario here. You press snooze. You're already, when you wake up after pressing snooze, you're already running late in your morning. So you're feeling rushed. You're feeling stressed at your house. You're running through your house trying to grab your things. You might not even eat breakfast, or you might eat breakfast on the go because you press snooze. You carry those unhealthy choices and feeling bad into the office. So you go into your office, you might be driving faster to work because you're late. You're running behind. When you get into the office, you have to sit down. You're already running behind in your day. You've got emails. You're backed up. You're thinking in your mind, oh my gosh, here I go again. I'm just that loser who keeps doing the same old thing. I can never get ahead. You've got all this work to catch up on, and you're running from that place, operating from that place in your day. And you can see, the choice to press the snooze creates another unhealthy choice, creates the dialogue, that unhealthy narrative in our head. And again, I'm starting to feel discouraged in my day. By the time I get out of work and I'm exhausted, right? And I feel discouraged because I didn't get everything I needed to get done. I go home, and then instead of supporting myself, all I want to do is just check out. So you might binge on Netflix. You might order takeout. Going to stay up too late, right? And what does that cause? You stay up too late? Well, the next day rolls around. You're tired. You make the choice. You press snooze, and it starts all over again, like Groundhog Day. And can you see that the choice to press the snooze creates the whole experience of yourself in life for that day, of feeling bad about yourself, of beating yourself up? We never knew that the choice mattered. But by pressing the snooze button, what I am actually telling myself through my actions is that I don't want to live the life that I have, that I don't want to set myself up for success, that I matter so little to myself that I'm not even worth getting up for. I never knew this. And then think about this. It's the choice, that choice to press snooze, that creates me feeling bad about myself in my day. And then the next day I do it, and the next day, and all of a sudden I have a week of feeling bad about myself. And then all of a sudden I have a month of feeling bad about myself. And then all of a sudden I have a year of feeling bad about myself. And again, here we are on that New Year's. And then year after year, I've unconsciously created a life of feeling bad about myself with that one choice, the choice to not get up with my alarm and to press snooze. Someone might call it the snowball effect. So here it is. It's the secret is that the secret to feeling good about ourselves, to having a fulfilling life, to being healthy, it's really not about the big changes, the big choices that we make in our life. It really is determined by the small choices. It's determined by the small choices. And it's determined, again, by the choice, the first choice when we wake up. Now, let's take it over to the solution. And I want you to really soak in, this truly is how simple it is. To change how you feel, to change your life, to change your health, you do not need a self-help book. You do not need to take a huge course. You do not need to find a guru or move to a different city or do the Santiago Camino Trail to go find your happiness. The true source of feeling good about yourself, and again, having a healthy emotional state and being physically healthy in your life, it again all starts with the choice, the small, incredibly significant first choice that you or I make when we wake up in our day. And it starts with setting your alarm for a good time and waking up when your alarm clock goes off. You wake up. That is the choice. You set your alarm, you wake up. And what are you telling yourself by waking up when your alarm goes off? What powerful messaging are you telling yourself with that behavior? Well, you or I we're telling ourselves that we matter, that we have a life that we want to get up for, that we have a life that we want to create, that we believe in ourselves, and we're gonna give ourselves the best shot at having the best experience, not just of our day, but of our life if possible. So even in this, can you see how that small choice, the choice of waking up to your alarm, is really, the small choice is the choice that matters. It's really everything. And then let's run ourselves through that day. You set your alarm for a reasonable time. We wake up. We wake up and we feel refreshed because we went to bed on time, and all of a sudden we're getting ready for our day and we have time. We have time to sit down to have breakfast and to make sure that we've showered and we've picked out our outfit and we feel good about ourselves. We're on time for work, so we're not rushing. We get to work exactly as we need to, and we have the whole day. All of a sudden you're completing your tasks, you're feeling accomplished in your day. And again, that dialogue on the inside, it's the complete opposite. Instead of beating yourself up and feeling behind, you are going to be feeling good about yourself. You're going to be feeling proud about yourself. You're going to be feeling accomplished. Again, all coming from the choice to wake up to your alarm. At the end of your work day, you're going to look back and be proud of yourself for everything you accomplished that day versus, again, in the other way, not waking up to your alarm. We feel bad and feel like we're totally behind. So you're feeling good and you're taking that with you as you come home. You might go to the gym afterwards because you're feeling so good and you want to keep supporting yourself. You're going to be making healthier. It's going to support you in making healthier choices. But between what you eat to how you wind down at night, maybe you read a book, you take a bath, you go to bed on time, you get a full night's rest, you set your alarm for the right time the next day, and guess what? You wake up to your alarm and that starts all over again. So that is the process of feeling good. That's how we feel good about ourselves. And that feeling good, that supportive choice to wake up to your alarm creates that snowball effect, that cascading effect of other supportive choices. So you feel inspired in your life, you feel empowered, and you keep doing this day by day. And guess what happens? That one small choice leads to a day of supportive choices and feeling good about yourself, leads to a week of feeling good about yourself, leads to a month of feeling good about yourself, leads to a year of feeling good about yourself. And again, having a healthy emotional state and being physically healthy leads to a lifetime of feeling good about yourself. of feeling good about who you are, of being proud and empowered of who you are, of being in control of yourself, of your life and where it is going, having a healthy emotional state, having a body that's in the parasympathetic nervous system that is also healthy. Remember, feeling good, happy also equals healthy, physically healthy. And this is what it all boils down to. This is how you create a life that you want to live in. This is how you create a life you feel good. This is how you create a life that you're healthy and happy, all boiling down to the choice. Do I wake up to my alarm or do I not? And let's move that into the concepts of camp taking responsibility and camp victim. When I make the choice to wake up in the morning to my alarm and set my life off on that supportive foot of feeling good about myself, I am living my life in camp taking responsibility. Camp taking responsibility. And in camp taking responsibility, I'm in the driver's seat of my life and health. I realize that my life, and this is important, in camp taking responsibility, we realize my life is created by my choices. My life is created by my choices. I am a product of my choices, not a victim of my circumstances. And what that really means is we create the life that we live, and we create how we feel in that life by the choices we make, and it all boils down to the choice. The opposite of that is the choice not waking up to my alarm, pressing snooze, and what I can know is that I'm living my life day and week and month and year in camp victim. In camp victim, I do not have the awareness that it is me and the choices that I make that create how I feel and my experience of my life. In camp victim, I'm convinced that it's the things in my life. It's the people. It is my spouse. It is my boss. It is the time of the year. It is the weather. It is my kids. It is my financial situation, etc. I believe that all the external things are creating the unhappy, the feeling bad about myself, the poor emotional state, the poor health that I'm having. Not realizing that it's actually the choices that I make, and it is that first choice, waking up with my alarm or pressing snooze. So again, breaking it down, camp taking responsibility, making the choice, you feel good about yourself and you're healthy. Simple. Camp victim, living in camp victim, you don't make the choice, you press snooze, feel bad about yourself, unhealthy. It really breaks down to that. And I can say this from my own personal experience. Again, someone who used to press snooze on repeat, having no awareness of what I was creating, the cascade effect I was creating in my life, no awareness that it's the direct correlation to why I felt so bad. And again, why I could never keep my New Year's resolutions. But now I know that it is the critical choice, that the first choice I make for me to get out of bed when I hear that alarm and get excited for my day and go into my morning routine and to start that cascading effect of taking care of myself, right? I wake up, then I make my bed, then I start my shower, then I get ready, then I get dressed, and I have breakfast, and doing all of these things that all start with that one choice of getting up. That choice is telling me, Josie, I matter. Again, I have a life that I want to live. I'm going to try the best that I can today. I'm going to give myself the best shot. And I do that every morning. I get up to my alarm. Even on the weekends, I set an alarm and I get up because it is that critical to me to have the best experience of my life, to feel as good as I can about myself. And again, it is how I live in camp taking responsibility. It is how I have a healthy emotional state and thus no longer have my illnesses, my autoimmune or chronic illnesses. And it's how I know that I won't ever get them again, because I take responsibility of taking the reins of my life by embracing the choice. So today we really took New Year's resolutions and I broke it down in a way that to make sense of why you feel so bad. Trust me, it doesn't help to just beat yourself up because you don't keep your New Year's resolutions. That's what we all do. We don't keep them, then we beat ourselves up, and then we feel worse about ourselves and have a more unhealthy emotional state. We really want to ask ourselves why, and that's what this video today was all about. Why do we feel so bad? It's because, again, of who we are in the dark. That's a part that I really want you to get today. It is the choices we make and is the dialogue we have when we think no one is watching us that really determines how we experience ourselves and our life. That's why we feel so bad. And again, to really refine it more, it all starts with the choice, which is the choice of, do I set my alarm and wake up every morning? Or do I press snooze and start that cascading effect of unhealthy choices? And it really comes down to a trajectory, kind of like this, right? So if I continue to press snooze, I'm going down this route, a route of an unhealthy emotional state and being unhealthy physically. Or it's as simple as tomorrow, if you want to change, it starts tomorrow with waking up to your alarm and that cascading effect of supportive choices and feeling good about yourself that comes from it. And with that the one simple choice to wake up, you're starting a whole new trajectory of your life. You're completely changing the train tracks that your train is on. And again, it really is that simple. So thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're out there and it is New Year's and you are feeling bad about yourself, you know that you can't keep those New Year's resolutions. You're out there, you have an autoimmune disease or chronic illness, and you, like myself in the past, are just kind of stuck in that habitual pattern of going around in circles, trying to make the changes you want in your life and your health, but not finding the way out, and you would like someone to show you the way. Well, I have a form down below to apply for a complimentary consultation with me. And these complimentary consultations are there to see if you might be a good fit for one of my programs. And in these programs, they teach you step by step how to move out of camp victim into camp taking responsibility, which is the same journey of going from the sympathetic nervous system, where your body is when you have a chronic illness or autoimmune disease, into the parasympathetic nervous system and permanently healing and self-repairing. That's what I do. I take people down that journey so their bodies permanently heal their illnesses and conditions just like mine have. And so again, the link for to apply for a course consultation is down below. All right, well, I'm so excited to be sharing this critical information with you today, and I hope tomorrow morning, if you're out there and you never knew the choices you have matter, that you begin with the choice, the simple, profound, life-changing choice to care enough about yourself to set your alarm and to wake up from it, to wake up with it. All right, thanks so much for joining me today. Now I'm going to check to see if there are any comments before I stop the stream. Let me just take this. Doesn't look like it? Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing everybody next time. And again, this is Beyond Remission, a new era of permanent healing.